Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Global Happiness Today YouTube channel. At the beginning of the tribunal, the lead counsel to Peter Obi Labour Party, I'm talking about a senior advocate of Nigeria, Ikpezu, was not on set simply because he was out there defending the mandate of Adeleke, talking about the uncle of Davido, which eventually got right. There's a lot of celebration. Many Nigerians believe that the same mode he used to get it right is hopefully the same mode he will use to get Peter Obi right. But while all this was going on, he was not at the pre-hearing period. But today he's going to be there live and direct to champion and lead the cause. A lot happened on the day he was not there. One of which was the fact that Lalong was there to represent Bola Ahmed Tinubu, of which the judge vehemently revolted, insisting that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not an entity, is not a corporate body, so he's well able to represent himself. But something happened, or something is happening, of which the northern group or northern youth are stylishly giving an inkling that just maybe the information going around is actually true, may just may be true, but they still alleged. Before going to the newspaper to find out what is in store for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, judging the fact that the first hearing, pre-hearing, there was a mandate that he should not be represented by Lalong. But before we go into the newspaper to find out what could also be another one chance, if you permit me to use the word one chance, where the Supreme Court verdict, speaking on beavers, may likely affect both INEC, depending on the technicalities they were used to. We're going to look at all that as well. Like and subscribe to our channel by clicking on the right subscribe button beside it. You see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel or YouTube. It was discovered that on Tuesday that Tinubu will be leaving in the night but would return before his swearing in. Nigeria President-elect Bola Tinubu is returning to France tonight, which is Tuesday night, to see his doctors in preparation for his inauguration on May 29. It was also learned on Tuesday that he was also learned that he's returning to France to see his doctors based on the stress that he's ahead. I say that again. He's returning to France to see his doctors ahead of the stress of the inauguration period so he can prepare for his swearing in. A top source in the ruling All Progressive Congress told uh, many Nigerians. On May 1st, it was also discovered that Tinubu visited Lagos to take a medical rest and see some of his doctors who had arrived in the country to give him follow-up medical care. It was learned that some members of the medical team who treated Tinubu in France were in Lagos, somewhere in southwest Nigeria, to give the president-elect follow-up treatment, which is the care given to a patient over time after finishing treatment for a disease. This involves monitoring a person's health over time after treatment. Tinubu had earlier returned to Abuja, Nigeria's Federal Capital Territory, after weeks of medical treatment in France. A source also said that President-elect, who recently moved into the Defense House in Abuja ahead of the inauguration in May, was in Lagos on the weekend of April 29th, 2023, to see to his foreign doctors who were purposely in the country for him. Tinubu sneaked into Lagos on Saturday. He's taking a medical rest to see some doctors who are in Nigeria to follow up on his treatment. Then he will fly to Rivers State to commission Governor Nyesom Wike's project, the source also said. Although his director of media and publicity, Bayo Onanuga, insisted he was on vacation in France, it was also discovered that Tinubu fell ill after March 18 governorship and state assembly election and was flown to France for medical treatment. However, despite the denials, it was also reported that Tinubu's ailment was so severe that for 5 days, while being hospitalized abroad, he could not speak or had to be intubated. Intubation is a procedure required to help save a life when the patient cannot breathe. It is a process where a healthcare provider inserts a tube through a patient's mouth or nose, then down into their trachea, that's airways or windpipe. The tube keeps the trachea open so that air can get through. The tube can connect to a machine that delivers air or oxygen. According to Cleveland Clinic, common conditions that lead to intubation include airway obstruction, something caught in the airway blocking the flow of air, or cardiac arrest, sudden loss of heart function, injury or trauma to your neck, abdomen or chest that affect the airways, or loss of consciousness or low level of consciousness, which can make a person lose control of the airway. Others include the need for surgery that will make you unable to breathe on your own, that's respiratory breathing, failure or a temporary stop in breathing, or a risk for aspiration, breathing in an object or substance such as food or vomit or blood. It was also reported that Tinubu's tongue was reportedly sticking out during the time his condition was severe. Tinubu's helmet and health were in shambles before he left Nigeria to undertake treatment in a French hospital, the source also said. Sickness was so severe that for 5 days during his hospitalization, he could speak and had to be intubated, another source had said. His tongue was reportedly sticking out, one of the sources had added, while addressing journalists shortly after his return. It was also noticed that Tinubu had a suspected peripheral inserted central catheter, which is PICC line, attached to his upper arm. Pictures of him with the medical device went viral on social media platform. According to medical experts, PICC is used to deliver medications and other treatment directly to the large central veins near the heart. Of course, this is all coming from Sahara Reporters. They have exclusive. They're actually the one that give that exclusive information. But meanwhile, with the judge insisting that Bola Tinubu, Lalong should not represent Bola Tinubu because it's not a corporation, what then? Are we possibly looking at seeing Shatima there today? Time will tell. Well, still in the same vein, many Nigerians believe that we are looking towards good victory here as Exhibit 29 BVAS remains the authentic source of vote verification. This is established by the Supreme Court some few hours ago with a delegate of Osun State. Out of 95% that have been uploaded, only about 60% of them have the correct and that's correct result or clear result. 40% are mutilated. Now they went further to explain more. He said, look, in its judgment, a 5-man panel of the Supreme Court, led by Justice John Okoro, held that the BVAS was the sole foundation and focal point of Adeleke's case. The court maintained that Oyetola's argument that the presiding officers who conducted the elections in 774 polling units did not use the BVAS machine could not substantiate it. The court noted that based on INEC regulations and guidelines, and election result can only be collated if the results agree with the figures in the BVAS and the ones transmitted to the INEC result viewing portal RF. Wahala deo. If this is the condition, then I think let me laugh in it in Swahili. I just hope that they will not go contrary to this. But many Nigerians are scared. One of such is the fact that we saw something like this similar where I think at Adamawa State they give it to PDP, where they were supposed to rejoice saying that PDP finally took their mandates in the governorship. And in Imo State, APC won. A third came first, and even on seat, a sitting governor, which is a PDP governor. I'm talking about Emeka Ihedioha. So many Nigerians are hoping and praying that there will not be repetition, where they probably give Adeleke the victory of PDP, with the hope that they should turn a blind eyes to the one that will be happening in just a few days to come. But the truth be told, that those are two different issues. I believe that it has nothing to do with one another. It's a case of giving verdict. That's what